Hello everyone, Luke here and welcome back to the channel. So this is a particularly modern car, and modern cars have coil packs and spark plugs, and what that does is that ignites the fuel inside of the cylinder. That way your car actually has propulsion so it can move forward. So with a diesel it's a little bit different. They use glow plugs, but that's for a whole nother video on a different day. So according to some people, the distributors were actually faded out somewhere in the 90s, which is kind of hard to believe actually, because this car, even though this was produced in 2008, this never changed from 1996 to 2008, which means these were still being fitted with distributors. And I find that absolutely crazy because I've got one right here. So as some of you guys might know, the distributor was actually replaced by the coil pack, and how the distributor worked in its essence before we actually get into the nitty and gritty of things is the ignition distributor is a mechanical device. This is used to transfer a high voltage current. This current is actually produced by the secondary coil. This would correct the spark plugs so they would fire in the correct order and at the correct time. And did you know, in a distributor it's made up of 7 components, and these components are: number 1, the distributor cap; 2, the rotor; 3, the contact breaker; 4, the distributor shaft; 5, the cam; 6, the capacitor; and 7, the spark advanced mechanism. Right, so let's get into the nitty and gritty. As the ignition distributor shaft starts to rotate, it rotates the cam, and it does rotate the rotor too. When the cam pushes the cam follower of the contact breaker, the contact point of the contact breaker opens and collapses the primary current through the primary winding. Then this produces a high voltage current in the secondary winding. The high voltage current is produced, transfers to the distributor's central terminal. The current from the central terminal reaches the outer edges of the rotor through the carbon brushes. As the rotor comes in front of the internal terminal of the spark plug in the distributor cap, the high voltage electrical pulses or surge pass through the spark plug, and it produces a spark within the cylinder head. The distributor produces a spark in each of the spark plug in the correct sequence and in the correct amount of time. In this way, the ignition distributor works. So that is pretty awesome, and knowing that one of them distributors is in my car right now makes it incredibly cool. But there are a few reasons why people believe that, well, distributors were replaced by coil packs. And the first reason is that coil packs are not mechanical. They have no moving parts, which means over time there will be less wear compared to a distributor. Number 2 is that coil packs produce a better spark, therefore it gives it a better combustion, but that is very much up for debate. And number 3, so the coil pack is actually controlled by the ECU. Personally, I don't like that. I prefer things to be mechanical like a distributor. Therefore, I'm able to take things off, I'm able to replace parts, and I'm able to fix it on my own. Whereas if, say for example, you need to replace a coil pack, usually it is just plug and play. But I know on one of my friend's cars who's recently just replaced his coil pack, and I won't specify the manufacturer, but he had to take it down to the local garage to get it all recoded in because it wasn't starting. So therefore, I don't think that's a reason why, well, distributors got phased out, but a lot of people argue that it's better. So yeah, I think distributors are awesome, and it's actually kind of cool that the KA never changed itself from 1996 to 2008, because this 2008 car, which is the plate that I got, still comes with it, which I find absolutely crazy. But I suppose with that being said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or suggestions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments, and I will try my best to answer them all. Anyway guys, I hope you have the most fantastic day, and I will see you later.